Here's the new beginnings. Here's the new beginnings. The pull up so independent. We pull up so independent.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sloan Blueprint. I am your co-host, Nicole Sloan.
And I'm Eric Sloan.
And we are happy and so elated to be here with the beautiful ladies of Wine and Design. This is a mother and daughter dynamic duo, right? Is that what you call them here? Dynamic duo. We are so happy. And thank you guys for agreeing to join us today. We're just going to have a little fun, some good conversation. I'm sure y'all got a lot to share about being in business as mother and daughter. We took a different turn today. We usually do, of course, it's not just about couplepreneurs in the sense of married husband and wife, but mother, daughter, family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we know how.
So many different variations of couplepreneurs. So we are trying to certainly highlight that. And by our dynamic guests, I think you guys will be in for a shock.
A treat. Would you say a shock, Monica? A treat, shock, what?
All the above.
I think both of them said a shock. We can't wait to hear this.
She ready to tell all.
Imani tells it all. That's what this is going to be entitled. I know, Monica, as I was reading your bio 10 years ago, you moved to Montgomery from ATL.
Hold on, do I need to throw up the A?
That's y'all know that's his home. Imani, I don't know if you knew that, but of course, Monica, that's Eric's home. And open Mathnasium, right?
Yes.
And maybe tell us a little bit about your experience with that.
Well, it was interesting, to say the least, to come in to a place, a community that you had never lived, to open up an educational facility where, it was just different. It was, I don't know, what's the word? I persevered.
That. Because the culture here is so much different.
Yeah, it is.
It's different from Atlanta.
Well, definitely different from Atlanta. But I think with you starting that, it was certainly a need for what you started. And you number one, persevered, but then just seeing what you've done for the community, and I can attest to for some of the athletes that I used to coach that actually went to your facility, and then from an SAT or ACT standpoint, how they progressed. So what actually made you want to start Mathnasium out of all the business opportunities you could have done? What gravitated you towards Mathnasium versus anything else?
Okay. I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur maybe since the age of 18. So that was something that I aspired to be long time ago. And so I wanted to make a difference. I decided to become a math teacher because I wanted to just make a difference with education. So being a math teacher, it never dawned on me that I would open a math learning center, but being a math teacher, I was really passionate about math. I saw that a lot of people get left behind. It creates so many roadblocks if they don't have basic math skills. So I wanted to be that person, no matter where I was. You give people those basic math skills so that they can accomplish whatever they want to accomplish. So math teacher, Mathnasium, it has been, I don't know if you ever come in and watch me teaching, you'll see me light up. My kids have said it. One little boy, because as the owner and director, I don't work with the kids all the time. Most times I don't, but sometimes I do. And one of the young men that attend the center, his mom called and told me, Miss Monica is the GOAT when it comes to explaining stuff.
True.
But I'm just excited about it, and I think people see my enthusiasm for the subject.
Well, you have that's your passion. You love math. I remember you telling me that.
Yes.
I was like, so that's not mine, Monica. I was like, yeah, I could probably use some tutoring myself. But Mathnasium has what, more than 1,500 centers
all over the world. Around the world. It's the biggest math learning center in the world.
Wow.
And so at the time, I noticed that you said that Imani was actually a senior in high school. And Imani, you were instrumental in helping her start this business, right? Is that how it worked, or?
Well, she definitely made me tutor.
So you math whiz, is that did you just have a love for math too, or?
No, I don't have a love for her.
Not
but
like
I
her.
did it for her. And
Okay.
I enjoyed working for her and helping her grow her passion.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's good with decorating, and like she organized things. She helped me put things on the wall, make everything look pretty and professional.
Like she's done here.
Yeah, so I saw that gift and I was like, help me with this.
There you go.
It's not necessarily my gift.
We're gonna dig into all that a little bit later. So you graduated, Monty, and you joined the National Guard, right?
Yes.
Okay. So and
Thank
what
you
did
for your service.
Absolutely. So after that, I mean, you joined the National Guard. What give us a little bit more detail about? I guess even further. Did you even to now? I guess.
Well, I joined the Air National Guard for school pretty much, and I didn't end up finishing school, but I knew I didn't want to stay in the military. I enjoyed all that they taught me in, but that wasn't my passion, being in the military. So one day they gave me the opportunity to go to Germany, which I really enjoyed. So like, if you do want to join the military, I definitely recommend traveling and stuff, because it's really nice to see the world all around you and just see everything. But when I went to Germany, I just knew like, this isn't what I really want to do for the rest of my life. I do enjoy it here, but I miss my home, and I was ready to come back home. And when she told me about wine design, I definitely
Just a paint and sip. We didn't.
Oh yeah, it wasn't
yeah.
wine design at the time. It was just the paint and sip.
Okay.
I was like, yes, like
Okay.
immediately. So, because I knew I wanted to be like my mom for one. Like, she's a successful entrepreneur, and I want to follow in her footsteps. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay. Look.
Well, that's interesting, because that's what I was going to ask. What was the motivation, or what was the mindset behind coming up with wine and design? So it seems like you had the passion for it, and then it became a family affair by bringing any money in.
Right. Well, I don't have the passion for art. I like art, but I won't say I have a passion for it. But I do have the passion for improving my community. And I have the passion for, if there's a need and if I could help, I'm going to do that. I realized that Montgomery needed more things, more quality entertainment. So why not bring something to the city that I live in to help people, just enjoy the city and not always have to travel somewhere else to do fun things.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, going back to Atlanta. So growing up in Atlanta, every city is a city within a city in a sense. So it's almost, I grew up in College Park. So College Park is a city within a city. You can go to East Point, you can go to Decatur, you can go to Cobb County, Marietta. So it seemed like it's always something to do. And I would agree at a portion of staying in Montgomery, it's like, what can we do? So I'm elated that you guys created this, because I know we have taken advantage of it and enjoyed the paintings, and will certainly come back and
During
continue doing
pandemic,
exactly. So that's a great question. So how did it work out during the pandemic? Because I know so many businesses were financially hurt or whatever, just because nobody was coming out. How did you guys embrace that and still be successful doing that, or during that time?
Many nights of crying,
Sweat and tears.
praying.
I know that's right.
Lord, where have
about
we
to
got
strangle
into?
each other.
Yes. So, and shout out to the community that supported us during the pandemic. A lot of people did. They bought paint kits and took them home. Nicole, thank you for. I think she just bought more than she even probably painted. She was just like, give me 10. You're not going to paint 10 things. And that was helpful. We started doing virtual Zoom parties where we shipped the kits all over the country. Family members from different parts of the country organized parties with us, and we shipped the kits, and we came on Zoom and taught the classes. So it was a lot of work because at that time, like when we first opened, we hired 10 people. And we were going to need those 10 people. Like the first weekend, the second weekend of being open, we had a sold out class. Wow. It was the momentum. Everybody was very excited. And then 3 weeks later, you got to close your doors.
Wow.
What do we do?
Yeah.
So me and Imani was up to sometimes 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning working on paint kits, just ourselves at home or wherever we were, just to hopefully pay the rent.
Yeah. And you know, that's where that perseverance comes in, you know, because nobody anticipated that. Nobody anticipated. We've never seen anything like it. So for you to persevere, and you knew that you had to come up with a different strategy. You know, people couldn't come here, so you had to take it to them. Exactly. You know, so I think that was a very smart thing to do, very resourceful thing to do, right? Yep. Yeah. And so we've got several people that have aspirations of becoming a franchise owner. So we'd like for you to just share some tips to how to maneuver through that process.
Okay, well,
seems pretty tedious to us. I've never, you know.
I got 3 main points that I want to say about that. Okay, so like Imani was telling you, I said we should open a paint and sip studio in Montgomery. We had not decided which franchise we wanted to use. We looked at some other ones first before and then we decided we should compare. So I said, if you decide to open up a franchise, you might have one particular in mind, but look at its competitors and you might decide, I like this one better. This one offers more benefits. Like Wine Design offer military discount. And so a lot of them do. And but so, yeah, look at the different competitors and then make a decision then. And then the second thing is contact corporate offices as soon as possible and just start developing a relationship with them. Once they decide you're serious, they will invite you to something called Discovery Day, where they'll, you know, a lot of times, like Mathnasium laid out the red carpet for us, and the headquarters is in LA, and prior to that I had never been to Los Angeles, so that was really cool.
Right.
And then the third thing would be call other franchisees and talk to them about their experience. When I decided to open up a Mathnasium in Montgomery, I was still living in Atlanta. Of course, there were several Mathnasiums in the Atlanta metro area. But I decided to go visit the one in Savannah, Georgia, because Savannah had similar demographics as Montgomery. It wouldn't make sense for me to visit a Atlanta one because it's totally different. You know, right. You know, it's the population. You can't help but be successful in places like that. That's where true. You just have so many people. But you need to talk to people with similar demographics, similar situations. You know, I wanted to, me being a African American female, I want to talk to an African American female owner if possible, and that kind of thing. Call as many people. And so we did the same thing with Wine and Design. We called different franchise owners and talked to them and see what their experience was. And sometimes you don't get a good, you know, what you want to hear, but you need to hear the truth. You know, you need to hear all perspectives. Yeah. You need to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And the ugly. This prepares you mentally, financially, emotionally, especially with all that we've been through with this pandemic. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Imani?
I just think research is important and talking to different people. And, you know, the Discovery Day is really important because it's kind of like an interview between the franchisee and the franchisor or the potential franchisee. So it's good to like ask as many questions and all that good stuff.
So we always talk about different things as it relates to from a business and having the effectiveness of communication. So in entrepreneurship, of course, she looking like,
That's that husband and wife thing.
But from a husband and wife, we understand the importance of communication during entrepreneurship. How does communication impact a mother-daughter team in entrepreneurship?
Imani tells all. Let's go.
It's very the same. We don't. Well, sometimes I feel like she doesn't listen, but
it's like I don't know. Imani seems like she's taking the mother role. Like she doesn't listen.
It did switch when we started the business.
I believe it.
I can agree. I can agree. So, one of the things I had to learn about opening a business with my daughter is to separate me being her mother and us being business partners. Because, I want to say, we're going to do this because I said so. Where my belt?
And mine is like, I'm grown. Have a seat, lady.
But I learned to, any decision that needs to be made, I run it by her first. Even sometimes small things. I make sure that it's okay with her, and so there's no dissension. Because for one, I'm the one that communicate with the customers a whole lot more. She's like, Mom, you do that, you're so much better. And I kind of don't mind. I'm a people person. But so when somebody asks me about something, I have to go and I'll say, I need to talk to the other manager about it, and before I can, and I'll get back to you. So that we bumped so many heads. We bumped heads so many times about what kind of regulations we were gonna have with COVID. Imani was more on the strict side, and I was more on the lenient side. So we had to come to a happy medium about that,
right?
Because
and
we're a partnership.
Yeah, and you made a good point, even about communication. Mother and daughter, husband and wife, couplepreneurs, in any sense of that word. When you said, and that's why I looked at Eric like,
I feel attacked right now because
Don't
I see
feel
her.
attacked. Don't feel
She
attacked.
keeps saying that. She's just looking at me. Why are you looking at me?
Don't feel attacked. But Monica made a good point, because you said, well, any decisions that we make, small or large, I consult with Imani. He doesn't have a problem with me making decisions at all, because he'll say, well, baby, you don't have to ask me, just do it. And I said, well, no, I need to communicate with you, because later on, if I go and do it, then you might be coming back looking at me crazy, like, okay, well, why'd you do this, or why'd you spend this money? Or
he might have a perspective that you didn't think about.
Right.
Oh yeah, I have a standpoint.
That's his thing from my standpoint. Yeah. But that's what I tell him, Monica. You may have a different perspective, or you may have a different idea. So I appreciate the trust, but like you said, it's just important for us to collaborate, so that we can make sure that we're still unified. Well, that's the main thing, being unified.
I think from my standpoint on that is, it is, if you're strong in a particular area and I'm not strong in that area, then I'm going to rely on you because that's your strength.
Right.
So you don't have to come to me if that's your strength. So if we're doing a real estate deal, I'm going to rely on you because that is your expertise. That's what you have the knowledge. That's what you do day in and day out. If I'm coming in and trying to give my perspective on certain things that I don't know about, then that can take us a trajectory in the wrong direction. And we don't want to do that. So that's I guess that's what I be trying to, that's what I'm trying to communicate when I say that. Right. Like, hey, if you are aware of a particular thing and you are passionate about doing it, have at it, go at it. Right. Because if you do it, it's only going to benefit us. So,
Nicole, I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
So when it comes to making decisions, do y'all put a dollar amount on it? Like, you don't have to get permission to spend $100, but if it's $100,000, like, do y'all have a certain amount will say, you need to run this by me before you spend this much?
We actually don't.
Okay, gotcha.
We don't.
Okay.
But I use wisdom though.
Okay.
Because if it's $100, $200,000, if it gets, too extravagant or outrageous, of course I'm going to talk to him. And that's the point of what I'm saying. I'm not going to make huge decisions without consulting with him first, because it creates division in any couplepreneur relationship or whatever you call right, co-preneurship. Is that the right word?
We'll take it.
All right. he said we'll take it, like he don't want to get in trouble tonight. But what has been probably the greatest lesson that you've learned throughout the process of building the business with family as mom and daughter?
Well, with family or whoever, I'm just gonna piggyback on what Eric said. Let people cover their strength.
Their strength.
Like, for example, I would buy furniture and different things for the studio, and she'd be like, Mama, take that back. You know what I mean? I wasted my time. I thought it was so cute, and it would just go right here perfectly.
Monty said, that is not you. You are not the real creative.
Exactly.
She is.
And so, just letting her, like, she won't even let me post stuff on Instagram or Facebook because it has to look a certain kind of way. She uses certain filters and things, and I'll just post something. It won't be centered or whatever. I'm like, I just want to say this. You are not allowed to post anything on Instagram, Mama. Okay? I said, okay, So I don't fuss and fight about it. I was like, okay, I won't do it again.
I told mine, I said, that's us. I'm the one that does that, so yeah.
So
when's your birthday, Imani? I'm just kidding, I already know. What about you, Imani? Any lesson, or what do you think is one of the biggest lessons that you learned?
That she can't get rid of me, whatever I do.
Oh, you done quit 10 times. She done quit 10 times.
Quit 10 times.
Walk right out the door. I quit.
Okay. Throw the keys back. Here you go. Take it. Do whatever you want to do. I probably have too, Monty.
That's funny.
Oh, goodness.
So before you started your business, I know you had a professional career. Then you were saying, as far as military, did any of that experience help you in doing what you're doing now? Were you able to incorporate a good bit of that? And if so, can you share some of the experience beforehand and what you brought from either your military or work environment to entrepreneurship?
Well, for me, I did pretty much administrative work, so it really came in handy with the business side. I was able to get a lot of stuff done with admin work here, and it was really helpful.
Imani, to me, you seem like you're really organized. That military too probably had something to do with it. But have you always been kind of, that's no, look, she's like,
I already know what she was doing.
Look, I couldn't help it because she made a face. I guess don't give her all that credit.
I'm not really organized. I'm more particular about, I guess, aesthetic more than organization.
Okay.
So I like the way make things look pretty, but as far as like being organized, not so much.
Not so much. Okay.
Yeah, the military helped her with that. And so for me, owning another franchise for sure helped me with like making sure I come in from the gate and develop systems, especially when you're dealing with employees and, setting expectations with your employees. Things don't go without saying. You got to tell them everything.
You do.
You have to tell them, don't text me without saying hello first.
It's basic, but.
Yes. Don't text a customer without saying hello first. So, and it's kind of like being a teacher. And so I took my teacher because as a great teachers guide you through a process and they communicate everything to you as if you are a 3-year-old. That's what a good teacher does. And I brought that, as a manager and boss, I'll guide. And people appreciate that guidance because they don't, they might not really quite understand what's expected. And just, somebody coming in, being very specific about what you expect. We keep a checklist for the artists to kind of everything they need to cover during the class. And they have to look at the checklist as they're teaching. So, and if I'm here and they miss something, I'll let them know you missed so-and-so. Yeah. But that makes it easier for me if I was an employee and somebody gave me, a detailed
guide.
God. That's what I'm trying to say.
I like that.
Thank you, Imani.
That's right.
I like that because I think in any business you need to have some standard operating procedures in order to effectively run your business. So what you're saying right there, as far as from the checklist, that sounds like that's just a part of the standard operating procedures that you guys have, and that's a good thing because every business needs it.
Right.
Exactly.
Is that Jesus calling? This is real life, y'all, and we're recording.
Jesus on the main line. Tell them what you want.
Hey, we're there on site. Look, still open for business. But as far as any advice that you would give anyone that's discouraged about beginning the entrepreneurial journey, what advice would you give? We could all probably give a whole lot of advice, couldn't we? We can write a book together. Collaboration.
Exactly. Expect to run into a million roadblocks. And expect to have a plan A, B, C through Z.
Dot.
Oh gosh, if I could just tell y'all some things. I feel like it took an act of Congress just for us to, because it was another business in this spot before we moved. They left right before we moved in. So it took an act of Congress just to get the lights turned on in our name, to just switch it over. And I'm like, really? We got,
things that you would think would be simple.
Yes,
transactions.
So it's you got to get your frustration level has to kind of be even keel, because if you get frustrated easily,
yes,
you're gonna stay frustrated.
I got you. And I guess last, but definitely not least, how does your faith play a role in your personal lives as entrepreneurs?
I'll let you start.
Literally, what helped us get through it is faith in God, and just pushing through and not knowing what's going to happen, especially with the pandemic, not knowing how it was going to work out, and just having faith literally is what got me through personally through all of it.
Great point.
Right. So my faith, and I'm a Christian, my goal is to serve God in everything I do. And so, of course, I serve God when I help kids with math, because it opens up many doors for them. And so I just have that mindset. I'm doing this and I serve God. And I think with that attitude, it kind of helps me put forth an effort or not give up when I want to. Like when my flesh want to give up. Oh, I want to give up all the time. Yes. Trust me. And I know y'all can relate to this. And I just think about my faith and like, okay, you have a purpose, even with Wine and Design, our purpose is to serve the community and to help them relieve stress, and we've been so stressed out with this pandemic. Yeah. And to help them come and be able to have fun with their friends and family again. And it's just something positive to do.
Yeah, and building that faith, building the faith in people. We just want to appreciate you guys so much for your time and letting us come and be in your space. It's beautiful. We've enjoyed it. So, hey, let's give them a hand, Eric. Come on, give them a hand.
Thank you, guys.
They've done a great job. And again, remember, connect with us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, please, at Sloan Blueprint. Thank you again for joining in and tuning in with us. Until next time, have a great day.